The Aries full moon, October 13, 2016. A message from Lynda Hill. Website, Sabian Symbols, at typepad.com. A time of awakenings, arousal, ambition and anger starring Uranus and Eris. Every separate thought takes shape and becomes visible in color and form. Lu Hua Yang. Wishes expand in direct proportion to the resources available for their gratification. Robert Dotto. The charitable give out the door and God puts it back through the window. Proverb. When God closes a door, he opens a window. Anon. Strange things blow in through my window on the wings of the night wind, and I don't worry about my destiny. Carl Sandburg. If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. Milton Berle. There is no one, says another, whom fortune does not visit once in his life. But when she does not find him ready to receive her, she walks in at the door, and flies out the window. Charles Montesquieu. Certain winds will make one's temper bad. George Eliot. The Aries full moon occurs on October 16th, and it's a big one with Uranus and Eris smack up against it. It's the last full moon before the US presidential elections, and all sorts of interesting, new, intense, alarming, shocking, irritating, provoking, etc. things are likely to pop up. With Uranus and Eris along for the ride, it could feel a lot like a roller coaster, a type of liberation, or an earthquake. As always, with Uranus so strongly in the mix, it is impossible to say exactly what will happen, but most certainly, a lot of things are going to get a good shake-up. Many things could radically change, or, at least, we might get the sense that some situations, issues, relationships, commitments, etc., need to have a complete overhaul. This full moon is exactly conjunct Eris, the goddess of discord, strife, chaos, militantism and taking on battles, indeed warring for a cause. Her name is the equivalent of the Latin Discordia. From Wikipedia, the dwarf planet is named after the goddess Eris, as is the religion Discordianism. The following is from Wikipedia. In Hesiod's works in days 11 to 24, two different goddesses named Eris are distinguished. So, after all, there was not one kind of strife alone, but all over the earth there are two. As for the one, a man would praise her when he came to understand her. But the other is blameworthy, and they are wholly different in nature. For one fosters evil, war and battle, being cruel her no man loves. But perforce, through the will of the deathless gods, men pay harsh strife her honor due. But the other is the elder daughter of dark night, Nyx, and the son of Cronus, who sits above and dwells in the ether, set her in the roots of the earth, and she is far kinder to men. She stirs up even the shiftless to toil. For a man grows eager to work when he considers his neighbor, a rich man who hastens to plow and plant and put his house in good order. And neighbor vies with his neighbor as he hurries after wealth. This strife is wholesome for men. And potter is angry with potter, and craftsman with craftsman, and beggar is jealous of beggar, and minstrel of minstrel. I include the two quotes from Hesiod's works in order to show that this is what is happening very much in society at the moment. Women's issues are at the fore, and we are having conversations that many of us might have thought that we should be finished with by now. The rights of women are front and center in a lot of what is coming up, socially and politically. Eris is being stirred up by Uranus, and this energy seems to be saying enough. Read more on Wikipedia about Eris. Click here. Uranus and Eris have been together since mid-2016, and we can see how much women's issues to do with rape, being sexually assaulted, sidelined and marginalized, abused in so many ways, etc., have come into sharp focus. In fact, a lot of anger has been brewing and releasing and brewing over the course of the last several months. So now we have the full moon exactly together with, conjunct, Eris, and Uranus throwing up the energies and bringing up issues to do with justice, equality and fairness and women's rights. From Hesiod's quoted text above, we can see that people are pitted against people, along gender issues, political issues, etc. And the energies have ramped up so much that sometimes it's difficult to see where the anger, upset or sense of outrage even begins. Gender issues or not, the old political maxim of divide and conquer is being used to great effect nowadays, as it has been used for a long time. Only things seem to be heating up in so many ways that it can feel more urgent, more dividing, more now is the time. Mercury, on this full moon, is on Libra 16 after a storm. A boat landing stands in need of reconstruction, and it is exactly square Pluto. This can bring up a lot of intense energies as well. There may be a general feeling of wanting to get to the bottom of things, to delve into situations, relationships, memories, etc., in order to find the truth, or, perhaps to reveal the secrets that we want to find those answers for. It's interesting to note that the Sun was on this degree when Hurricane Matthew hit Haiti and the east coast of the U.S. We may find that this full moon brings an eruption of anger, ambition and people pushing their agendas. Certainly, feelings are likely to be ramped up considerably. And Mars is in the mix with Mercury and Pluto, and just a few days after the full moon, Mars and Pluto meet up on Capricorn 16. Boys and girls in gymnasium suits, locker room conversations, or respect for the sexes from both sides. The Saturn-Neptune square that we've been experiencing for month after month lately is now finishing up. That will lighten up the energies considerably, which will be a relief for many. The last few years have felt to many as if we are trying to navigate through quicksand. We weren't sure if what we were seeing was real, or we were trying to see what wasn't there with phantoms, ghosts and apparitions when we needed to see what was real, what was truly in front of us, what was actually happening. It is a relief that this square is now winding down, but many people are frustrated, some downright angry, with their outcomes, or issues where they feel that they were misled, lied to or taken advantage of. On the other hand, some people, of course, are coming out of this period having made their dreams into reality, but that has taken quite a considerable amount of plowing through, and probably a decent amount of good luck thrown in for good measure. To listen to my rave on the Saturn-Neptune square, click here. Even though this long transit is finished, we are still processing all of this. The full moon each month marks a time of heightened energies and events. It often marks the culmination of the energies released at the new moon. Emotions can be supercharged as the sun and moon are on opposite sides of the zodiac and illumination is increased. It's like we can see in the dark, and we can be hyper-aware as well as being hyper-awake. The effects of a full moon can be major or minor, depending on how they interact with your own chart. Sometimes, realizations or events that are unleashed, or unlocked, can stretch their immediate months into the future. A lot can be learned at the time of the full moon, and whether it's lunacy or illumination, or a combination of both, there's magic unleashed with every full moon. The Sabian symbols for this full moon tell an amazing story. The full moon is on Aries 24, an open window and a net curtain blowing into the shape of a cornucopia. The following is from my book The Sabian Oracle 360 Degrees of Wisdom. Commentary: an open window and a net curtain blowing into the shape of a cornucopia is a symbol of abundance and prosperity. Abundantia was a Roman goddess of abundance, prosperity and good fortune. She has the cornucopia, the horn of plenty, from which she distributes grain, money, fruits, flowers and food. In fact, all that one truly wants is represented as sitting in the horn. The wind blows in the open window and reminds us of the beauty, joy and richness of life. Oracle, we often long for those things that we want, and this symbol shows that something is most probably coming your way. An open window and a net curtain suggests that with the slightest change of direction in the wind, our fortunes can change. Quite possibly something is coming that has many promises. What actually arrives on your doorstep may or may not be exactly what was wished for, but it is very likely to be somehow rewarding. How wonderful and yet surprising would it be if what you wanted actually did manifest? This could be a time of the realization and enjoyment of layers of spiritual nourishment. The blowing of wind often implies spiritual agencies coming in. Open your mind to the possibilities that are being blown in from the realm of spirit. The rewards can be plentiful, full of promise and self-sustaining. Be wary, however, of merely drifting and imagining that the big jackpot is going to just fall out of the sky. Buying the ticket helps to win the lottery. Look for unusual or extraordinary opportunities in the signatures of things around. Picture what you want and project it out into the world with the full intention of it being fulfilled. What you want may just manifest itself in front of you. Keywords: imagination. Keeping your options open. The promise of fruition. The breath of life filled with inspiration. Realizing that in everyday life, one has it all. Windows of opportunity. Gain, abundance, riches. Spiritual energies pouring in concentrated energy. Seeing desires taking shape. Curtains and windows. The caution relying on spiritual ideas to provide material sustenance. Dreaming of things dropping into one's lap. Hoping that good luck will just blow in. Shutting windows, keeping light and life out. Drawing curtains and withdrawing. Promises, promises. The moon symbolizes emotions, moods, mother, family, clan, domestic issues, relationship to home and country. Feelings, sentiments, nourishment, emotional nurturing, monkey chatter mind, lunar and menstrual cycles, clarity of emotions or lunacy, female energy, yours and others. The karmic degree for the full moon is Aries 23, a woman in pastel colors carrying a heavy and valuable but veiled load. This symbol shows issues of going to a great deal of effort to conceal from others things that are very important. This could be heavy responsibilities that have been placed on you. You may feel that you have succeeded in shouldering these burdens without others knowing, but in fact it may be apparent to others in the way the burden of your secret is affecting your behavior. It may be necessary to share the load. Are you truly participating in life? Do you always put on a happy face regardless of what's going on? Wearing black versus pastel colors. Keywords: privacy. Quiet determination to get on with the job. Mild manners. Carrying more than one's share, gratefully or grudgingly. Shouldering problems. Bad backs. Victim status: poor me. Secret pregnancies. Doing overtime. Heavy loads. Smiling against the odds. Pastel colors. Codes of silence. The caution trying to cover up distrust and greed. Keeping one's thoughts and emotions locked in can create dis-ease. Feeling unnoticed or unworthy or weak. Bad backs. The quest degree for the full moon is Aries 25. A double promise reveals its inner and outer meanings. This symbol shows that what at first appears to be may reveal itself to actually be something else. Simple promises can be more complicated than first thought. The rational and emotional responses can conflict with each other. One wants something, the other wants something else. However, this can be the way to really view things, from an inner and outer perspective. Also indicates the choice that arises, of the heart and of social obligation. Realize the implications of expectations and promises. Keywords: rewards, but what do they bring with them? The possible implications of or reasons for any promises. something that may look good on the outside, but prove to be difficult. Looking for consensus, possibilities and promises. The ins and outs of situations. Not turning up. The need to look at situations from all sides. Internal versus external realities. Catch-22 situations. Contracts. The caution, fickleness, insincerity and two-facedness in human relationships. Promising more than can be delivered. Not turning up. Having hidden agendas. The sun is on Libra 24, a third wing on the left side of a butterfly. This symbol can show imbalances of many kinds. Physical, mental, spiritual or emotional. Understanding and accepting fragility and differences in ourselves and others can give greater empathy for those who have difficulty operating efficiently in the world. When the transformation into full potential occurs, it is wonderful. However, you may feel that you are unnaturally developed or somehow lopsided in the emotive, intuitive realms. Instinct may swamp logic or logic may take from instinct or intuition. Physically, one side of your body could work more efficiently or smoothly than the other. It helps to try to regain balance and equilibrium. Try finding that still space in the middle. Keywords: creative overbalance, bodily impairments and handicaps, being light, flippant and fluttering from thing to thing, oversensitivities, oddities, beautiful imperfections, idiot savants, imbalances, one side of the body being more perfect than the other, wings, arms, legs, feet. The caution and realistic reliance on being different. Obsession with strange things. Flapping around and not getting anywhere. Restlessness, nervousness. Lopsidedness. The sun symbolizes one's core center, spirit, heart, issues to do with father, men, self, ego, your male side. How you radiate your sense of being. What others see, how you are recognized or remembered, sense of identity and connection with male energy, yours and others. The karmic degree for the sun is Libra 23. Chanticleer's voice heralds the rising sun with enthusiastic tones. This symbol shows enthusiasm, joy, confidence and the desire to greet each day with the anticipation of new opportunities. It is true that each day begins the same. The sun comes up, the world is still spinning, but what the day will bring always holds a bit of a mystery. This is a joyous symbol of greeting and heralding the day, but there can be a blurring of the concept of whether the chanticleer, the rooster, causes or simply heralds the new day. You may be blessed with the voice to speak of new developments, to make announcements and wake everyone up to the realities of life. Don't make too much of a noise while doing it and you'll rouse people around you to action. Keywords: anticipating new opportunities, waking early, being a morning person, having a clear, beautiful or loud voice, speaking up when it's needed, heralding the new age, seeing things ahead of their time, being attuned to cosmic forces, change or renewal, always being on the go, being eternally vigilant, alarms that spurs to action. The caution: overstating your role, talents or abilities, being noisy and disturbing others, sounding off, being loud and irritating, taking the glory and none of the responsibility. The quest degree for the sun is Libra 25. The sight of an autumn leaf brings to a pilgrim the sudden revelation of the mystery of life and death. This symbol implies the ability, or the necessity, of seeing far more in simple things than most people see. Instead of merely seeing an autumn leaf, the pilgrim sees the cycle of life, the seed turning into the tree, the leaves turning in the autumn, etc., etc. There is far more to see than is first apparent. You may have learned much and grown tired of seeking information about life through conventional channels. A sudden insight can lead to a whole new revelation of life and its processes. seeing things that others miss. Look for answers in simple, everyday things around you. They may be fleeting, but they are around you. Look for the signs, they can have profound effects. Keywords: seasonal adjustments, fleeting inspiration, seeing things in their own time, spiritual revelations, conversations with God, feeling blessed, the beauty and timelessness of nature, contacts with nature spirits, angelic visions, photography and having a photographic mind, being here now, pilgrims and their journeys, the Hajj pilgrimage, solving problems, quick and deep minds, snapshots in time, the caution focusing on things with no lasting value or no longer relevant, looking for answers in everything, continual search for significance, overreactions to simple things. Mercury is on Libra 16 after a storm. A boat landing stands in need of reconstruction. This symbol shows the need to rebuild parts of our lives that get swept away in difficult. Keywords: temporary loss, emotional repair, tools to repair damage and build a new life. Having faith that the worst is over and recovery can begin. Calling in the experts. Taking time to put the pieces back together. Working to ensure the safety of the community. Insurance claims. The fragility of man's world in the face of nature. Returning to work. The caution making excuses instead of taking responsibility. Emotionally swamped and powerless. Feeling shot to pieces. Letting things wear down to the point of collapse. Mercury symbolizes mind, thought, communication, memory, expression, intelligence. News, exchanges, chatting, conversations, short journeys, connections with others, telephones, emails, siblings, neighbors, the reasoning mind. Day-to-day activities. Cars, keys, small animals. The karmic degree for Mercury is Libra 15 circular paths. This symbol implies issues to do with ever-repeating cycles of activity that often lead one around in circles or back to where one began. Circular paths lead us around and there may indeed be a feeling of being back where you started, but remember the experience and learning you have gained on your journey to where you are now. There's a cosmic rhythm and cycle, but when you return to what seems to be where you started, you will have a new experience and new skills. However, if you're not getting anywhere, it can be because of addictive behavior that continually leads to the same result. Keywords: going round and round. The orbits of the planets. Cosmic rhythms and cycles. The cycles of life. Things we feel we can trust. The secure path that never really leads anywhere. Crop circles. Realizing mistakes and learning from them. The wheels of progress. Merry-go-rounds. Circular machinery. Mazes and labyrinths. Chaos theory. Learning through repetition. Looking for somewhere to park. The caution being lost in small details. Sweating the small stuff. Episodes that repeat themselves. Boredom. Addictive cycles that are hard to get rid of. Treadmills. Constantly going over the same point. The quest degree for Mercury is Libra 17. A retired sea captain watches ships entering and leaving the harbor. This symbol speaks of the necessity in life of finding time for quiet recollection. You may feel that the stormy, unpredictable, emotional life is something you can, or need to, leave behind. To opt out. But like the sea captain, there will always be the frustration and the desire to return and get back amongst it. An objective and calm understanding of life's experiences is available, but know when to rest and when to be active and work, as merely looking out at the world from a confined perspective and feeling like you have no choice but to sit and watch is unlikely to bring the world to you. Keywords: memories and peaceful contemplation. disconnection from the past, concentrating on more immediate circumstances, fatigue and the need for rest, being a spectator rather than a participant, being part of an audience, voyeurism, turning to domestic pursuits, writing one's memoirs, nostalgia, safe ports or harbors, retiring from public life, the caution copping out, escaping from reality, relying on past experiences, refusing to join in, staring at lost opportunities and times gone by, frustration, boredom. Venus is on Scorpio 28, the king of the fairies approaching his domain. This symbol shows the ability, or the need, to feel at ease and in charge of your home, territory or domain. You may have been searching for where you belong or where your domain is. Although you may at times be off looking for this, feeling alien and alone won't work. There's a need to feel accepted, welcomed and loved. There may be the feeling of wanting to be a dominant leader or having a doting populace. As long as egos are in control, this can be a fabulous experience of returning home, an ease and calm and spiritual place to be. Also, this degree can show a world of one's own creation or imagination which can be fabulously rewarding, although it can also be rather ungrounded in reality. Keywords: imaginary worlds. Finding a place. Feeling comfortable. Taking command of life. Leadership and its responsibilities. Feeling like a dominant leader and that one has a doting populace. Being welcomed. Midsummer Night's Dream. Returning home. Web domains. Finding one's true vocation or purpose. The caution and imaginary world. Dependence on trickery. Someone acting like a hot shot. Lording it over people. Being impotent. Feeling locked out. Homelessness. Venus symbolizes relatedness, cooperation, what attracts you. The experience of sweetness, beauty or delight. Social interactions, love, friends, how you reach out to people. Feminine persona, relationship with mother and females. Money, possessions, sense of values. The karmic degree for Venus is Scorpio 27. A military band marches noisily on through the city streets. This symbol shows the need for occasionally making a show for society to remind ourselves of our successes and achievements, whether they are collective or personal achievements. The military band can make an enormous amount of noise as it marches noisily, but sometimes we need to be woken or reminded of the cohesion that a military band can show. Likewise, this can show someone that likes to bang their own drum or to make a big noise about themselves or for the establishment. As long as the audience is okay with this display, one can contain the reaction from others. Sometimes, though, people get annoyed by people banging their drums a little too loudly. Keywords: making music to rouse people from complacency. Noisy announcements. Demanding attention. Trumpeting achievements. Reminders from the authorities that individuals are often not in charge. Celebrations of past battles. Corporate advertising. Peace rallies or war marches. Marching in drills. Precision movements. Baton twirling. Drums and trumpets. Spit and Polish. The caution: a lot of volume that's too pompous. The message getting lost in the noise and fanfare. Demanding to be heard. Propaganda. Threats to peace. Banging one's drum. The quest degree for Venus is Scorpio 29. An Indian woman pleading to the chief for the lives of her children. This symbol implies the need, or the ability, to be an advocate for the rights of others, particularly youngsters or children, and being prepared to engage with others in order to bring about a desired result. You may find yourself standing up for those in your care, or for those who need your care, whether it is your children, your ideals or creative pursuits. Even if they sometimes deserve rejection, punishment or judgment, the solution will possibly be found not in being defensive as in simply asking for consideration, mercy and leniency. This can also show bringing a healing to others, whether it's through their own actions or through finding the healers that are needed to effect a cure. Keywords: patterns of family dominance. Pleading one's cause. Seeking love, mercy or forgiveness. Asking higher powers to step in, help or heal. Intercession. Counseling. Protecting the younger ones. Family law courts, magistrates, lawyers. Divorce. Young people taken seriously. Guilt and innocence. Weaving words to a desired outcome. Intervention. Schools. Juvenile delinquents. Being nailed for an offense. Speaking on behalf of others. Tribunals. Begging for mercy. Custody battles. Sexual discrimination. Advocates. The caution: being prepared to be dominated. Making a sacrifice of oneself to achieve peace and quiet. Ramming one's opinions. Being expelled. Being made an example of. Mars is on Capricorn 13. A fire worshipper meditates on the ultimate realities of existence. This degree shows being able to focus thoughts, meditate, or to find your center. The fire worshipper can be intensely interested or passionate about something, throwing themselves into the middle of something, getting as much out of the experience, event or study as they can. You are likely to find yourself very focused, with a great passion for something that really ignites your interest. There could be a sense of danger in some respects, but also a sense of new beginnings. Harnessing your personal resources, particularly your rich inner life, can create magic. Look through appearances to get to the heart of matters. Keywords: self-conquest. Kundalini energy. Playing with dangerous elements to reach a higher state of being. Philosophy. The stories of our lives. Examining life and its meaning. The buzz of being alive. Questions of our very existence. Finding the reasons behind everything. Contemplation and meditation. Incense. The hypnotic spell that fire can cast. Staring into the flames. Throwing oneself into the deep end. The search for core truths. The caution: overestimating personal power. Going too deeply. Playing with danger. Mars symbolizes drive, determination or agenda, how you get to your goals. How you express and handle anger, ambition, assertion of self and ability to step forward. The male principle, sexuality, the ability to step up to the plate when one needs to. Fight or flight. The karmic degree for Mars is Capricorn 12, a student of nature lecturing, revealing little-known aspects of life. This degree shows the ability to observe things that other people would miss. You can be an example to others for understanding the wonders of nature, weaving together issues to form a story, to lecture, to inform others. Often, there's a special talent around natural and alternative issues, and it may be your job to show the way or to teach about nature or medicine or herbs, etc. Too much weight has been given to the artificial needs of society, and it's time to address the balance. Practical applications of knowledge can help people better understand. Revealing the truth can lead to wonder and awe, but also disbelief. It depends on how it's delivered. Keywords: observing and translating so others may learn. Green politics. Issues the conservatives don't want revealed. Nature and natural remedies. Science and its rewards and drawbacks. Issues such as global warming. Whistleblowers. Natural healing methods. Documentaries. Conspiracy theories. Nature that framed us of four elements, warring within our breasts for regiment, doth teach us all to have aspiring minds. Christopher Marlowe. The caution: radical non-humanistic views. Intellectual smugness. Lecturing people about their lives. Browbeating. Lip service to conservation values. Bashing greenies. The quest degree for Mars is Capricorn 14. An ancient bas-relief carved in granite remains a witness to a long-forgotten culture. This symbol shows learning from the past, seeing the beauty and meaning inherent in ancient civilizations, their monuments and cultures. Some things never fade. They stand as reminders of ancient eras, bringing messages to us. Information and revelations may be found in these reminders. The remains, about the stability and longevity of the foundation of your society, or possibly some other society, distant in time or space. You'll find satisfaction in things that are not so much superficial display, but those things that represent the longevity and stability of the foundation or backdrop of your society. The trick is not to get stuck in the past or become unchangeable or unbendable. Keywords: anonymous immortality. Things written or carved in stone, or concrete. Permanent records. Clues from the past. Things that should be shaped and changed with the times. Pieces of art or sculpture. Things that belong in a museum. Inscriptions and carvings. Ancient civilizations and their relics. History. The caution: old and outworn things. Unchanging and unbending minds. Being intense. Stubborn. Feeling stuck, like no growth is possible. Obsession with the past. Frigidity. Jupiter is on Libra 8, a blazing fireplace in a deserted home. This symbol implies the ability, or the necessity, to provide warmth and reassurance in times of emptiness, loss or desertion. You may need to remember that even in times of real loneliness, when you feel separated from your center, there is a constant, unseen, sustaining energy always ready to welcome you home, whether it be the fire of your own spiritual center, the warmth and familiarity of family and kin, or knowing that one is sustained by humanity at large. You may need this reassurance yourself, or you may be the one to help others in their hour of need. Keywords: security and comfort left behind. A fire left blazing inside to reassure. Wood for burning. Gas, electricity connections. Holiday homes, or homes that are rarely visited. Homes filled with love, if not people or possessions. The warmth of the heart. Holding a candle for someone who's gone. Fertility issues. Heart and hearth. Fireplaces. The place to which one returns. The caution: isolation, separation, abandonment or bitterness. Sabotaged by or of loved ones. Being forced out, possibly for social reasons. Divorce. Latchkey children. Jupiter symbolizes the big picture, expansion, exploration, aspirations, religious and philosophical ideals, issues to do with traveling, foreign lands, people and traditions, culture, education, generosity, luck, abundance, support, optimism. Insight through knowledge and wisdom. The karmic degree for Jupiter is Libra 7, a woman feeding chickens and protecting them from the hawks. This symbol shows someone who nourishes and protects and feels a sense of being in charge and being responsible for those who can't look after themselves. There is probably the need to look after those in your care, whether persons, things or ideas. There could be dangers that no one else seems to be taking seriously. However, your efforts to protect and nourish will be rewarded in the future. Feeding, nourishing and protecting those around you will pay off, sometimes in unexpected ways. There's a need to be careful not to favor some far more than others, or to take too much on, or feel responsible for everything and everyone, as this can exhaust and limit what you're trying to accomplish. Keywords: nurturance, protection and guardianship. Being on the lookout for changes in the atmosphere. Spotting problems that nobody else notices. Shielding innocence from bad guys. motherhood and the stress of it, predators, being firm with outsiders, asylum, places of residence, the caution over protection, not coping with problems, not allowing others to grow up, being picked on, seeing the world as a big scary place, attacking others, favoritism. The quest degree for Jupiter's Libra 9-3 masters hanging in a special room in an art gallery. Sometimes they seem to speak to each other. This symbol speaks of beauty, art and wisdom. An art gallery brings treasures from our culture, our world and the world around us. Time often doesn't seem to exist in this realm, all is timeless. This symbol can show speaking to others about abstract concepts, art and culture, often on a higher level. Quiet contemplation of art, especially if people aren't around to distract, can bring rewards on many levels. Everyday chatter that doesn't go deep or explore life's beauties can be useless and mundane, but communicating on a deeper, more creative and spiritual level brings interesting insights and answers. Keywords: truth in the image, intuitive vision, reverence for art, form and tradition, images bringing messages, art collections and collecting art, photographs, capturing life in a work of art, furniture of a period, the art of placement, beautiful images, wisdom speaking, crowded galleries or empty rooms, images that speak volumes, the Sabian symbols as images, minds that don't shut down, animations, the caution and due reliance on old values, importance placed on appearance instead of substance, art's rarefied atmosphere that excludes others as unworthy or uneducated. Saturn is on Sagittarius 13. A widow's past is brought to light. This symbol implies revealing issues, secrets or problems from the past, so they can be dealt with. There are issues which will be brought to light. Perhaps your past catches up with you, or people in your family or circle of friends have stories, histories, deeds, acts or personalities that need to be handled with care and tact. There is often a healing as things that have been kept closeted lose some of their charge when they come into the light of day. Although you, or others, may be in a reasonably sympathetic position in the eyes of others, some may not like what is revealed. Bring issues to light where they can be healed, forgiven and, hopefully, forgotten. Keywords: unveiling and exposing, or creating a new and vibrant beginning. Getting rid of yesterday's darkness. Looking back to revision attitudes. Being freed for new opportunities. The scales falling from one's eyes. Reasons as to why relationships have failed. Remembering. Past life memories. Things being found or discovered. Wills. Inheritances. Death certificates. Burying the past. Pensions. Insurance policies. The caution: old stories best forgotten. Rehash stories. Someone being caught out. Gossip and family secrets that shame. Bearing the weight of secrets or shame. Loss. Saturn symbolizes authority, rules, discipline and obligation, the heavy stuff. What we fear: loss, karma, aging, the establishment, orthodoxy, tradition, status, the concept of time, walls, boundaries, limits, older people, restrictions, patience, conquering difficulties. The karmic degree for Saturn is Sagittarius 12, a flag that turns into an eagle. The eagle into a chanticleer saluting the dawn. This symbol shows being able to proclaim one's feelings, beliefs, love of country or political opinions, without feeling they are likely to be criticized, shot down or dismissed. Our highest ideals can be expressed proudly, like a flag, and as an expression of spiritual purity, the eagle at dawn. You may find that you are regularly moved to burst forth with your ideas, giving voice to what you think and feel. However, some may not like the message or what you have to say, how you say it or where you say it. However, issues that are really worthwhile and centered will be seen by many and heard in the clear light of day. Keywords: declared idealism, trumpeting ideals, national pride, peak experiences, flags, symbols of strength, unity and power, truths, the pomp and ceremony of big political displays, issues of nationhood, issues of world domination, elevated views and perspectives, forceful voices, reaching for the highest plane, nobility and pride, successful outcomes, national anthems, new empires, messages from the president, the caution assuming right because of might or power propaganda, lording it over others, seeing others as being lesser, crowing, world domination, loud voices, bullying. The quest degree for Saturn is Sagittarius 14. A vast panorama of sand and time is unfolding. The pyramids and the Sphinx in their glory rise before the eye. This degree shows the power and strength of history and grandeur, along with issues to do with spiritual mysteries and intellectual records and the building of grand monuments and empires. An interest in ancient civilizations often comes with this degree, or there may be the desire, or need, to establish some type of monument, or perhaps work at it or worship it. You may be working at building an empire, yours or another's, as this often implies pyramid selling and large economic structures. You may need a tour guide and a map and the determination to build things in exact measurements. Keywords: ancient histories and mysteries. The power of the past affecting today's world. Spiritual ancestry. Mysteries that enrich. Decoding. Magicians and prophets. Secret messages or tricks of perception. Majestic properties. Riddles. Ingenuity. Plans and the executing of them. Egyptian things. Levels of power. Pyramid marketing. Taxes. The rich versus the poor. The American monetary system. World finances. The World Trade Center. Masonic mysteries. Cement, sand, plaster. Tools. Architects. Builders. The hallmark of our age is the tension between aspirations and sluggish institutions. John W. Gardner. The caution: slave labor. Looting. Enormity of big business. Great treasures robbed by the greedy. Monuments that belittle others. Having a know-it-all attitude. Rich versus poor. Uranus is on Aries 23. A person in pastel colors carrying a heavy and valuable but veiled load. This symbol shows issues of going to a great deal of effort to conceal from others things that are very important. This could be heavy responsibilities that have been placed on you. You may feel that you have succeeded in shouldering these burdens without others knowing, but in fact it may be apparent to others in the way the burden of your secret is affecting your behavior. It may be necessary to share the load. Are you truly participating in life? Do you always put on a happy face regardless of what's going on? Wearing black versus pastel colors. Keywords: privacy. Quiet determination to get on with the job. Mild manners. Carrying more than one's share, gratefully or grudgingly. Shouldering problems. Bad backs. Victim status: poor me. Secret pregnancies. Doing overtime. Heavy loads. Smiling against the odds. Pastel colors. Codes of silence. The caution: trying to cover up distrust and greed. Keeping one's thoughts and emotions locked in can create dis-ease. Feeling unnoticed or unworthy or weak. Bad backs. Uranus symbolizes the unexpected, things that are individual or different. Charged, energetic dynamics, electricity, light, lightning bolts, sudden changes, those who live on the fringe of society. Sudden turns and twists of fate. Rebellion, surprises, liberation, freedom. The karmic degree for Uranus is Aries 22. The gate opens to the garden of all fulfilled desires. This symbol brings up fabulous opportunities and possibilities. You could find yourself in beautiful places with your desires met. There can be the promise of happiness, stability, and feeling like you've arrived where you want to be. At times, though, you may be right at the point of what you want, but perhaps you need to make the deliberate action of opening the gate, admitting to yourself what you want and where you want to be. Perhaps you need to knock, showing your intention of wanting in. Maybe you already have everything you need. Look around. Keywords: craving happiness, gardens and their treasures, trellises and flowing plants, pathways to bliss, gates and doors, unlocking and opening gates and doors, analyzing your heart's desires, the grass being greener on the other side, rewards and treasures waiting, the allure of somewhere else, initiations, passages to a better life, acquiring property, sexual fulfillment, opening up to life's possibilities and rewards. The caution: denying yourself the right to receive just rewards. The grass being greener on the other side. Always wanting more and more. Possessions owning you. The quest degree for Uranus is Aries 24. An open window and a net curtain blowing into the shape of a cornucopia. This symbol shows that your mind is, or should be, open to possibilities that are being blown in from the realm of spirit. There is an abundance coming, shown by the cornucopia, which will be self-sustaining. This degree suggests that with the slightest change in direction your fortunes could change as well. Look for out-of-the-ordinary opportunities and possibilities. Realizing that in one's everyday life, one has it all. Open your windows and blinds and let air and sunshine in and watch good things follow. Keywords: imagination, keeping your options open, the promise of fruition, the breath of life filled with inspiration. Realizing that in everyday life, one has it all. Windows of opportunity, gain, abundance, riches, spiritual energies pouring in, concentrated energy. Seeing desires taking shape. Curtains and windows. The caution: relying on spiritual ideas to provide material sustenance. Thinking that good luck will just blow in. Shutting windows and doors, keeping light and life out. Neptune is on Pisces 10, an aviator in the clouds. This shows being able to stay on course, not allowing distractions or difficult or confusing issues to deter you from your destination. Perhaps you need to rise above and transcend the more nitty-gritty realities of earthly existence and its difficulties. Just be aware that you may not be seeing the complete picture very clearly sometimes. If you take special notice, you may be able to see through illusions, seeing past the surface appearances to things that others miss. You may be able to rely on your spiritual, creative or intellectual skills to take you above and beyond those things that others have to deal with. However, you may also be evading the real truth. Keywords: elevated views, always seeing the best in people and things, peace and tranquility, the longing for transcendence, not seeing limitations, being in a refined headspace. Mastery, flight, planes, pilots, avoidance of time constraints, Pollyanna attitudes, free flights of fantasy and escapism, the need for accurate navigation, being in charge of the controls, seeking higher truths, maps, compasses, global satellite positioning, clouds, mist and fog, hang gliding. Don't over-control like a novice pilot. Stay loose enough from the flow that you can observe it, modify, and improve it. Donald Rumsfeld. The caution is escaping responsibilities, isolating oneself, drugs and alcohol abuse, avoiding reality, unearthed, unrealistic expectations, missing the point, evasive. Neptune symbolizes mystical, out there, spirituality and con artists, dreams, mysteries, mystics and religious issues, intuition, clairvoyance, seeing into the invisible, addictive, chaotic, charming, deceptive, illusory, company-dependent, sensory awareness. The karmic degree for Neptune is Pisces 9. The race begins intent on outdistancing his rivals. A jockey spurs his horse to great speed. This shows spurring to action when you need to rise to occasions that call for a sense of urgency or speed. Perhaps it's time to extract all the energy possible into situations. The race is on, and you may feel that you can make it to the finish, but still are not guaranteed a victory. What efforts do you expend to push you faster and further than the rest of the field? Ensure that you're not expending all your energy too quickly and not really achieving anything of lasting value. Be wary of bolting out of the gate without knowing what your objective is. Needing to win at all costs can have others feeling like you're not really in the race, just wanting to win. Keywords: competitiveness and high ambitions. Wanting to win, sometimes against the odds. Losing and gaining weight. Weightlessness. Racing to be first at things. Demanding quick flight. Bolting out of the gate. Aggressive desires. Exhilaration. Wanting to better oneself. Being on the home run. Speed and the need for it. Facing forward with great intensity. Rivals and competitors. The value of training. Horsemanship. Discipline. Energy poured into the drive to succeed. Starting whistles, pistols or lights. The caution: galloping at full speed, prematurely. Far too ambitious. Jumping the gun. Running out of steam. Ruthless measures. Sabotaging others' efforts. Addiction to speed. The quest degree for Neptune is Pisces 11. People traveling a narrow path, seeking illumination. This shows having a quest, seeking illumination, having a path and staying on it regardless of what life throws at you. Sometimes the search for high ideals and understanding places us at odds with the more conservative social expectations of others. It is the ability to persevere with the search, regardless of the cost, that marks the sincerity of any path or journey. You may, at times, have to go without some comforts or stick to a rigorous agenda. Most times this quest is very illuminating, sometimes it's confusing. You will need to reject that which is unworthy, while staying true to your objectives in order to stay focused on the goal. Keywords: people on the path. Sticking to one mindset, diet, regimen or habit. Having a cause to follow. Not looking sideways. Awakening one's base senses in order to progress. Physical ecstasy. Being in the now. Going towards the light. Staying true to self. The promise of light at the end of the journey. The caution: being blinded by the light. Not knowing where you're going. Denial of physical pleasure. Puritanical and one-eyed. Distractions. Narrow-minded. Disillusionment. Pluto is on Capricorn 16. School grounds filled with boys and girls in gymnasium suits. This degree shows being vibrant and alive and in the physical body with enthusiasm and excitement about life and the future. The gymnasium suits shows the need to get active and to stay active, to have time in your life to drop into the physical body and enjoy it. If you've been neglecting your physical well-being, it is good to re-establish that affinity with your vitality. Spontaneous enthusiasm and the joy of being alive can regenerate and revive and bring about carefree contact with like-minded people. The trick is to bring some form of physical discipline into your life while enjoying it and not feeling forced to do what you don't want to do. Keywords: developing muscular coordination, sexual energy, attraction or satisfaction, playing, marching, competition, rivalry, singing songs of unity, new anthems for the young, the search for identity, being able to accomplish things on the physical level, physical fitness, uniforms and uniformity, gymnasiums, exercise equipment, conscription, being one of many, learning how to get along with the opposite sex, bodybuilding, level playing fields, the caution showing off, relationships based on physical or sexual attraction, feeling only one of the many, being forced to do things, rote performances, people that disdain the intellectual. Pluto symbolizes unconscious motivations, depth psychology, history, sex, procreation at a deep level, intensity, profound emotions, taking hold of one's power, being king or queen of one's underworld, strength, survival mode instincts, big money, big power, the plutocracy, power versus power struggles. The karmic degree for Pluto is Capricorn 15 in a hospital. The children's ward is filled with toys. This symbol shows the need to heal, calm, soothe and repair the lives of those who need your help, comfort and shelter. In times of healing there's simple pleasures to raise the spirits, whether it's of children or people of any age. The toys in the hospital can be healing tools of any kind, it doesn't matter what type or modality. If they bring relief and joy to someone's life, they fill a need. There is also a need for caring shows of affectionate concern. Simple things done in times of healing can bring great relief to all. Sometimes it's a smile, a special treat or soothing words of encouragement. These are more healing than one can imagine. Keywords: bringing simple gifts to the sick or disadvantaged, looking after one's responsibilities, nurturing people of younger years or those who've had less growth, workshops held to improve one's health, be it physical, mental, emotional or spiritual, drugs, crutches, cots, doctors, nurses, waiting for and needing individual attention, waiting rooms, magazines, toys, gadgets, puzzles, games. The caution: making a show when one doesn't really care. Hypochondria, sickness, attention-seeking, fearing needles and medical gadgets, being greedy and needy. The quest degree for Pluto is Capricorn 17, a young person surreptitiously bathing in the nude. This symbol shows getting rid of the restraints imposed by social conditioning and inhibitions. To strip down to bare essentials and not be ashamed of it. The young person is enjoying the feeling of not having clothes or costume to constrain or cover them. They are also letting the sun and the air contact their skin, which is very healthy and revivifying. Although there may be some feelings of being exposed, really letting go and not worrying about being seen can lead to feelings of freedom. This applies to a freeing up or exposing on a spiritual and emotional level as well. It's not confined to physical realities. Keywords: confrontations with oneself, reconnecting with nature, a desire to reveal oneself mentally, physically or emotionally, issues with weight, the manipulation of the female form in the media, exhibitionism, learning to let go of extraneous things, confronting puritanism, being at one with the environment, releasing inhibitions, stripping, streaking, sun lotions, the caution: suppression of natural attitudes, bondage to inhibitions, exhibitionist, revealing too much, showing off, lack of concern for others' feelings, sexual exploitation. Chiron is on Pisces 22, a prophet bringing down the new law from the mountain. This shows being able to live life by a set of new laws, or to make a new set of laws that better suits your life and place in the scheme of things. This pictures revelations of spirit and truth. It is important to manifest these truths and laws and to integrate them into your everyday life. Codifying the ways of humankind can help us understand the limitations of our earthly existence. Although our basic principles may stay the same, the specifics will vary in order to accommodate the changing perceptions. You may find new laws to live by, or you could be the one to bring these rules to others. Keywords: revelations and channeling of new information. Truths being revealed. Thoughts, ideas, guidelines. The 10 Commandments. Laying down the law. New resolutions. New pathways of living. Social justice messages. The Quran. The Torah. The Bible. Finding records. People of the Book. The Ark of the Covenant. Newly codified laws. Amendments. The Testaments. Avatars and guides. Moses. Mount Sinai. Legislation. Laws enacted. Legislation. The caution: being told what to do, believing one has all the answers or believing someone else. Rigid application of dogmatic laws. Bureaucracy. Laws set in stone. Chiron symbolizes our wounds. Chiron is known as the wounded healer. The wounds are the stories that we tell ourselves. It is where we have to focus on healing. It can show things that are out of shape or misplaced or in need of repair. The karmic degree for Chiron is Pisces 21, a little white lamb, a child and a Chinese servant. This shows being able to provide care, safety and comfort to those who need it. The child has a servant. He is well looked after. He also has a little white lamb, an animal companion, one he can be with, hug and enjoy. In our early years it was the sense of touch that was initially satisfied. If you felt cradled and comfortable, you could grow knowing that all was safe and well. You could find yourself in a place of privilege. Cradled from those things that could hurt or challenge you, having someone to look after you. Conversely, you could be the one who's always there for others, supporting and loving them regardless of who they are or where they're from. Keywords: being protected by higher, more aware energies. The privileges money and social status bring. Awareness of the different levels of situations. Differing perspectives. Helpers, servants. Care. Being watched over. Watchfulness. Pets and animals. The supervision of youngsters. Purity of vision. Caring for the child within. The caution: social incompatibility. Snobbery. Not having to grow up. Not taking responsibility. Acting the brat. Racial prejudice. The School of Hard Knocks. The quest degree for Chiron is Pisces 23, a materializing medium giving a seance. This shows the ability, or the need, to pick up subtle energies and psychic clues in the environment. The materializing medium can receive radiations, frequencies or vibrations that cannot easily be sensed by most people. You may be experiencing a surprising sensitivity and awareness to spiritual forces and energies. This can cause confusion, other times enlightenment. Sit with any new impressions until you understand their authenticity or depth. Sometimes there is a need to free stuck or earthbound entities. This can show someone who can materialize things. Make things happen just by thinking about or concentrating on them. Keywords: spiritual channeling. A need to free up stuck or earthbound entities. Efforts to materialize things. coming straight out with things, giving voice to spirit. Tarot readings, clairvoyance and clairsentience. Things seen ahead of their time. Bringing messages from the other side. Contacting the dead. The caution: false fronts or performances. Making things up. Using mind control to get a desired outcome. Weird energies or people. Quacks. Imposters. Face. Delusional. The moon's north node is on Virgo 13. A powerful statesman overcomes a state of political hysteria. This symbol shows the ability, or the necessity, to be able to calm situations, to solve a crisis, to have a steady hand that shows others that someone is in charge. If this is not operating on a positive level in your life, you may want to assess where you need to be doing it. Sometimes our thoughts get out of control, even hysterical. However, this is not much use as emotions and events just get whipped up, leading to useless energy flying around. It is through control and the power of your personality that you can resolve situations and bring back a state of equilibrium to all involved. Keywords: the power to sway the mob. Having the charisma and talent to turn situations around. Elements of personality that get out of control and take over. Pulling the rope tight. Mind control. Political savvy. Knowing what to say and when to say it. Keeping your mouth shut and ears open. Rhetoric. Putting out spot fires. Being motivated. Issues of success. The caution: misusing charismatic energy to sway others to personal advantage. The moon's north node symbolizes this is known as quite a karmic point, although all planets and points in a chart can be karmic. One's destiny in this life. The things you are meant to integrate, move towards, become. Destined relationships and relationship issues can show up here. The karmic degree for the moon's north node is Virgo 12, a bride with her veil snatched away. This symbol implies the issue of unveiling oneself in some way, and you, or someone else, can no longer hide behind a pretense or hide your light. You're likely to be faced with a moment of moving into a new life and a new sense of identity. Perhaps there's the feeling that you, or somebody, is not quite ready to give themselves completely to a relationship or situation, but they do not really have much choice. If one doesn't go willingly, they'll probably be pushed forward, finally taking the plunge. There can be an unveiling of one's true identity which can lead to some surprising realizations. Keywords: secret motives being revealed. Unveiling or changing identity. Proving oneself with no excuses and no pretense. Breaking down walls. Relating on a deep level. Honeymoon periods. Being true to oneself and others. Marriage rituals. Dropping pretense. Divorce. Veils. Vows. The veil between the conscious and unconscious. A man in love is incomplete until he is married. Then he is finished. Zsa Zsa Gabor. The caution: stubbornly refusing to accept new directions in life. Failing to commit. Not coming up with what one promised. The quest degree for the moon's north node is Virgo 14. Finely lettered names and mysterious lines are seen. It is a family tree. This shows deep and abiding connections that come from families and their ancestors and individual family trees. There is a need to feel somehow linked with ancestry, a place or belonging. However, this can speak about you belonging to the larger human family. We are all related. Being able to call upon the deeper inherent knowledge within yourself and what's been learned from past experience, possibly from one's ancestral roots, will help you find great strength. This implies a strong family heritage, but it may come from having a deep connection with people or things that you are not actually related to, but are in your family nonetheless. Keywords: strength and tradition. Belonging to a lineage. The story of where one comes from. Issues of pride of heritage. The importance of parents and family. Branches and databases. Having strong and secure roots. Origins and their relevance to today's life. Ancestors. Calligraphy. Fine pens. Filling in the gaps. Adoptions. Stepfamilies. Pedigrees. Kin. Genealogy. Inheritance. Family Bibles. The caution disassociation or disconnection from family history. Feeling like an alien. Not belonging. Orphans. The moon's south node is on Pisces 13. A sword, used in many battles, is now in a museum. This shows knowing when to stop battling in life, when to lay down one's sword and take up a higher position that reflects a more intelligent or spiritual way of being in the world. Sometimes, when reminded of the battles of the past, we are influenced towards actions that ensure peace. We are uplifted by the symbolic memory of past deeds of valor, although stings of defeat may be part of the story. You may be faced with a choice of fighting or reasoning which is confused by your lack of training or experience in the ways of battle. Don't go down with the ship. It helps to lay down one's sword not in order to surrender, but to stop the warring. Keywords: willpower, martial arts, putting aside thoughts of vengeance and revenge, hanging up or laying down one's sword, trophies of conquest that remind us of the past, history, aging and maturing, retirement, remnants of battles, souvenirs of the past, words as swords, the spear of destiny, the sword Excalibur, disarming weapons, the search for truth and justice, suits of armor, peace at last, sexual impotence, the caution lack of sensitivity, pretense of one's abilities, falling on one's sword from defeat, sexual impotence, domestic violence, giving up, grudges, wanting to go into battle. The moon's south node symbolizes past karmic patterns to be overcome, can be habits that are good, but can describe things, relationships, issues that you need to let go of, or hold you back from manifesting your true destiny. Relationships that feel karmic and difficult, memories from the past. The karmic degree for the moon's south node is Pisces 12, an examination of initiates in the sanctuary of an occult brotherhood. This symbol shows passing the tests that life, other people, spirituality or karma throws at you. You are likely to find at times that you are being judged by those above or around you. It is difficult to see what their qualifications to judge you are, but this is often the nature of progression through the ranks. People being critical of one another can lead to better behavior, better performances or the like, or it can lead to feeling judged, violated and intruded upon. It can seem as though our lives are like lessons. We are periodically examined to see how we are doing on our course. Be careful not to shut yourself away to avoid being seen or having to endure criticism. Keywords: the ordeal that comes to any initiate for entrance into higher realms of being. Hermits. Tests, examinations, having to prove oneself. Being judged or being judgmental. Being cross-examined. Rarefied atmospheres that demand personal sacrifice. Initiations. Proving courage and purity. Trials. The attainment of knowledge. Apprenticeships. Being a candidate. Finding out how and where one fits in one-eyed dedication. Trial by media. Cults. Rituals. The caution refusing advice. Arrogance. People saying "I told you so." Invading others' space. People assuming they know the truth about someone. Failing. Scandals. Stories. The quest degree for the moon's south node is Pisces 14, a lady wrapped in fox fur. This shows being able to present an image that shows intelligence, cleverness, glamour and beauty, along with knowing how to move in social circles. The lady wrapped in fox fur is someone who's sure of themselves, able to bend to situations and have situations bend to their own desires. It often shows getting out of, or into, anything they want. You can present an image that enhances your position in society. Intelligence and wit will probably see you through, with others noticing your beauty, grace or intellect. If, however, the guise was stripped away, would you still express the same qualities? You may have to display your capabilities because of negative prejudice, chauvinism, or being underestimated. Keywords: outer expressions of real inner worth, animal magnetism and attraction, intelligence and its display, cloaks of feminine wit and sexuality, beguiling minds, animal totems and furs, perceived beauty, the sense of having class and money, beauty, fashion and talent, being forward and upfront, sense of personal style, grace and composure, elegance, knowing what to say and when, dressing up, money spent on beauty, tempting others with sexual signals, perfumes, pheromones, taxidermy, the caution false fronts and expressions of wealth, selling out, scoring points through charisma, doing anything to win social position, money or fame, under or overdressing. Copyright 2016 Sabian Symbols.